Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Om Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivajracharya Ashtotra Sadashri Srimad Abhay-Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 7. The chapter is titled as The Killing of the Demon Trinavrata. First, let me read the summary, then we'll see text 1 and 2. So, Chapter 7. In this chapter, Sri Krishna's pastimes of breaking the cart, Shakata Bhanjana, killing the Ashura known as Trinavrata, and demonstrating the entire universe within his mouth are expressly described. When Shukadev Goswami saw that Maharaj Parikshit was eagerly waiting to hear about Lord Krishna's pastimes as a child, he was very much pleased, and he continued to speak. When Sri Krishna was only 3 months old and was trying to turn backside up, before he even attempted to crawl, Mother Yashoda wanted to observe a ritualistic ceremony with her friends for the good fortune of the child. Such a ritualistic ceremony is generally performed with ladies who also have small children. When Mother Yashoda saw that Krishna was falling asleep because of other engagements, she put the child underneath a household cart called Shakata, and while the child was sleeping, she engaged herself in other business pertaining to the auspicious ritualistic ceremony. Underneath the cart was a cradle, and Mother Yashoda placed the child in that cradle. The child was sleeping, but suddenly he awakened, and as usual for a child, began to kick his small legs. This kicking shook the cart, which collapsed with a great sound, breaking completely and spilling all its contents. Children who were playing nearby immediately informed Mother Yashoda that the cart had broken, and therefore she hastily arrived there in great anxiety with other gopis. Mother Yashoda immediately took the child on her lap and allowed him to suck her breast. Then various types of Vedic ritualistic ceremonies were performed with the help of the Brahmanas. Not knowing the real identity of the child, the Brahmanas showered the child with blessings. Another day, when Mother Yashoda was sitting with her child on her lap, she suddenly observed that he had assumed the weight of the entire universe. She was so astonished that she had to put the child down, and in the meantime, Trinavrita, one of the servants of Kamsa, appeared there as a whirlwind and took the child away. The whole tract of land known as Gokula became surcharged with dust, and no one could see where the child had been, and all the gopis were overwhelmed because he had been taken away in the dust storm. But up in the sky, the Asura, being overburdened by the child, could not carry the child far away, although he also could not drop the child because the child had caught him so tightly that it was difficult for him to separate the child from his body. Thus Trinavrita himself fell down from a very great height, and the child, grasping him tightly by the shoulder, and immediately died. The demon having fallen, the gopis picked the child up and delivered him to the lap of Mother Yashoda. Thus Mother Yashoda was struck with wonder, but because of Yogamaya's influence, no one could understand who Krishna was and what had actually happened. Rather, everyone began to praise fortunate for the child's having been saved from such a calamity. Nanda Maharaja, of course, was thinking of the wonderful foretelling of Vasudeva and began to praise him as a great yogi. Later, when the child was on the lap of Mother Yashoda, the child yawned, and Mother Yashoda could see within his mouth the entire universal manifestation. So we can now proceed with text 1 and 2. Shri Rajo Vacha Ena avatarena Bhagavan Harihi Ishvaraha Karoti Karnaramyani Manajnani Cha Na Prabhu Yatshinvataha Apaiti Araitihi Vitrishna Sattvam Cha Shuddhayati Achirena Pumsaha Bhakti Harau Tatpurushe Cha Sakyam Tat Eva Haram Vada Manyase Chet. Shri Rajo Vacha Ena Avatarena Bhagavan Haririshvaraha Karoti Karnaramyani Manojnani Chana Prabhu Yashrinvatopaiti Arter Vitrishna Sattvam Cha Shuddhyati Achita Pumsaha Bhaktir Haror Tat Purushe Cha Sakyam Tatyeva Haram Vadamanyase Chet. Shri Rajo Vacha Ena Yenavatarena Bhagavan Harishwaraha Karoti Karnaramyani Manojnani Chana Prabhu Yashunvatopeti Arter Vitirshna Sattvam Cha Shuddhayata Chirta Pumsaha Bhaktir Harau Tat Purushe Cha Sakyam Tat Evaharam Vadamanyase Chet. Mataji. Sri Raja Vacha. The king inquired from Shukadev Goswami, Ena Avatarena, the pastimes exhibited by the different varieties of incarnations. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Harihi, the Lord. Ishvaraha, the Controller. Karoti, presence. Karnaramyani, were all very pleasing to the ear. Manajnani, very attractive to the mind. Cha, also. Naha, of us. Prabhu, my Lord Shukadev Goswami. Yatshinvataha, of anyone who simply hears these narrations. Apaiti, vanishas. Aratihi, unattractiveness. Vitirshna, the dirty things within the mind that makes us uninterested in Krishna consciousness. Sattvamcha, the extensional position in the core of the heart. Shuddhayati, becomes purified. Achirena, very soon. Pumsaha, of any person. Tat Purushe, Bhakti Harau, devotional attachment and service to the Lord. Tat Purushe, with Vaishnavas. Cha, also. Sakyam, attraction to association. Tat Eva, that only. Haram, the activities of the Lord, which should be heard and kept on the neck as a garland. Vada, kindly speak. Manyase, you think it fit. Chet, if. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON. Translation. King Parikshit said, My Lord, Shukadev Goswami, all the various activities exhibited by the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are certainly pleasing to the ear and the mind, unto the mind. Simply by one's hearing of these activities, the dirty things in one's mind immediately vanish. Generally, we are reluctant to hear about the activities of the Lord, but Krishna's childhood activities are so attractive that they are automatically pleasing to the mind and ear. Thus, one's attachment for hearing about material things, which is the root cause of material existence, vanishes, and one gradually develops devotional service to the Supreme Lord, attachment for Him, and friendship with devotees who gave us this contribution of Krishna consciousness. If you think it fit, kindly speak about the activities of the Lord. Purport. As stated in Prema Vivarta, Krishna Bahirmukhe Haya Bhogavancha Kare Nikataste Maya Jare Japatiya Tare. Our material existence is Maya or illusion, in which we desire different varieties of material enjoyment and therefore change to different varieties of bodies. Brahmyam Sarva Bhutani Yantra Arudani Maya. Ashan api kleshada ashadeha. As long as we have these temporary bodies, they give us many varieties of tribulations. Adhyatmika, Adibhautika and Adideivika. This is the root cause of all suffering. But this root cause of suffering can be removed by revival of our Krishna consciousness. All the Vedic literatures presented by Vyasadeva and other great sages are therefore intended to revive our Krishna consciousness, which begins to revive with Shravana Kirtanam. Shravanam Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna, Bhagavatam 1-17. Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic literatures exist simply to give us a chance to hear about Krishna. Krishna has different avatars or incarnations, all of which are wonderful and which arouse one inquisitiveness, but generally such avatars as Matsya, Kurma and Varaha are not as attractive as Krishna. First of all, however, we have no attraction for hearing about Krishna, and this is the root cause of our suffering. But Parikshit Maharaj specially mentions that the wonderful activities of baby Krishna, which amazed Mother Yashoda and other inhabitants of Braja, are especially attractive. From the very beginning of his childhood, Krishna killed Putana, Trinavrita, and Shakatashura and showed the entire universe within his mouth. Thus the pastimes of Krishna, one after another, kept Mother Yashoda and all the inhabitants of Braja in great astonishment. The process to revive one's Krishna consciousness is Adau Shraddha Tadau Sadhu Sangha, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.4.15. The pastimes of Krishna can be properly received from devotees. If one has developed a little bit of Krishna consciousness by hearing from Vaishnavas about the activities of Krishna, one becomes attached to Vaishnavas who are interested only in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj recommends that one hear about Krishna's childhood activities, which are more attractive than the activities of other incarnations, such as Matsya, Kurma and Varaha. Wanting to hear more and more from Shukadev Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit requested him to continue describing Krishna's childhood activities, which are especially easy to hear and which create more and more inquisitiveness. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Nitinamine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Teshtarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Ram Hare Hare. So I will just read again the translation. King Parikshit said, My Lord Shukadev Goswami, all the various activities exhibited by the incarnations of Supreme Personality of Godhead are certainly pleasing to the ear and to the mind. Simply by one's hearing of these activities, the dirty things in one's mind immediately vanish. Generally, we are reluctant to hear about activities of the Lord, but Krishna's childhood activities are so attractive that they are automatically pleasing to the mind and ear. Thus, one's attachment for hearing about material things, which is the root cause of material existence, vanishes, and one gradually develops devotional service to the Supreme Lord, and attachment for Him, and friendship with devotees who gave us the contribution of Krishna consciousness. If you think it fit, kindly speak about those activities of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So today we are starting with this chapter 7 of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is titled as the killing of demon Trinavrita. So in this chapter, as Srila Prabhupada explains in the summary, that two pastimes are actually described. One is the killing of the demon Trinavrita. Three, in fact, another is Shakatashura, and third one is about Krishna displaying or demonstrating. Prabhupada writes, demonstrating the universe, demonstrating the entire universe in his mouth. So, this is the wonderful pastimes of this 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And again, from this first or second verse, which we are seeing it today, it becomes very, very apparent that these nectarian pastimes of childhood pastimes of Krishna are actually having or creating some kind of inquisitiveness among the hearer. And that has been explained here by even Parikshit Maharaj, very much inquisitive to even hear more about it. How this, the baby Krishna's pastimes are so attractive to Mother Yashoda that she is completely, having, even along with other inhabitants of Vraja, they are completely into it, and how it has been very nectarian. And he wants to hear more and more. So he is telling to Shukadev Goswami that, why don't you explain it further? Why don't you explain it further to me? So the point here is also that the hearer's eagerness also increases the speaker's inquisitiveness to speak. We see very many times that, whenever we go and speak in a forum, or, we see some of the incidents where the audience who are much more inquisitive, much more open-eared, or almost ready to hear what is being told, then the speaker also gets the enthusiasm to speak more, enthusiasm to describe more. And this exactly is what is happening here with Shukadev Goswami. More and more nectarian pastimes and more description is also coming from Shukadev Goswami is only because of the very, very high inquisitiveness which Parikshit Maharaj displayed. So that's very much important here. And how these devotees are actually very much eager to hear more about Krishna is also explained in Bhagavad Gita, that they don't want to even stop hearing this. They want to completely hear only this. In the 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam. Bodhayanta Parasparam. That, whenever they speak, whenever they preach, whenever they actually discuss among themselves about what? Kadayantaschumam Nityam. That, what they are doing is they are hearing or speaking about the Katha or the nectarian pastimes of Sri Krishna. And what is the first line which says? That Machitta Madgata Prana. That these nectarian pastimes are the life of devotees. Prana, or the very life of the devotees. That they think that without these nectarian pastimes, they cannot even live. And so this is how, what happens is that, these transcendental subjects are very enlivening. Otherwise, how somebody can nityam every day, every moment, how can they keep on hearing the same pastimes again and again? It's not possible. So they are actually creating some sort of nectarian thing with the devotees that they want to hear more, they want to hear again, they want to keep on hearing. So this is the Srila Prabhupada writes in this purport of the 10th chapter, 9th verse, that is the characteristics of a pure devotee. That the pure devotee thinks that his entire life is only Krishna's pastimes, hearing about them, and also discussing it among with devotees. And what happens is, tushyanticha romanticha, that, he feels very enlivened, he feels very happy, he feels, it giving some strength to him, energy to him. So this is the thing that, this is the symptoms of a pure devotee, that the pure devotee who has matured, for him, this nectarian pastimes are the life. So that is very much, we can also see it from Parikshit Maharaj's, enthusiasm here, that, tell me more, I want to hear more. So that's what his enthusiasm was. And the analogy which is given, that the devotee's always eagerness to hear about Krishna's pastimes is automatic. There is nothing like, it has to be ignited or it has to be sparked. It's automatic. And the analogy which is given is like fish to water. If a fish is taken to water, it feels very, very happy. It feels heartened. So same way, the devotees are very, very happy to be in the satsang of hearing Krishna's pastimes, to be with devotees association. Again and again in this verse it will come that be thankful, that, be thankful to the devotees who brought us to Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada writes in the translation and purport, we are actually should be very thankful that because of devotees who created that eagerness, which created that interest in us, that we are still surviving in Krishna consciousness. So it is like, automatic. It becomes very automatic for devotees to be very happy in this mood, in this environment. And Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan also gives another analogy, that it's how it is so automatic. It's like attraction between a young boy and a young girl. No, it is very automatic. It is nothing needs to be done. That, nobody is going to an university to learn it. Or nobody is, having some coaching classes to learn it. It becomes very automatic. Automatically he gets attracted, automatically she gets attracted. Same way, the nectarian pastimes of Krishna are so attractive that the devotees are automatically attracted towards it. So that is the thing, that it doesn't need any stimulant. It doesn't need an external stimulant. But, the first thing which Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport is about our attachment to the material things. Our attachment to the material things are inhibiting us from getting attracted to Krishna. So it has to be, we have to get attracted to something. Either we have to get attracted to material things or attracted to Krishna. It cannot be both ways. It cannot be, we cannot say that we are attracted to both the things. Either this or that. So either one point or not that point. So, but the natural inclination that, we get attracted normally to Krishna's pastimes, is, it's actually has to be practiced among the in the satsang of devotees also. If you are not able to do that, then immediately what we will get attracted? We will get attracted to the material things. As I said, we get attracted to all the other things, that man gets attracted to women, women gets attracted to man, and immediate attraction for the young boys and young girls. I get remembered of a research study that was done in one part of the world, that they are doing a great research, which for many, many years still they are not able to conclude how at that particular age, when a boy or a woman comes or a girl comes, immediate attraction for the opposite sex comes. And this great research program which is done in a place called Stockholm, in Stockholm University, and still they are not able to decipher that, what is happening inside the body, that, what is happening inside the mind, that they get automatically attracted. This is the uselessness of such research, that, it doesn't need to be deciphered, it doesn't need to be, studied, researched. It automatically happens because the body has been made in such a way that it has to happen at that particular age when the hormone comes. So this is the futility of getting, ourselves waylaid in all this unnecessary material things. the futile exercise of these kind of researchers, what do they earn out of it? Nothing. They do some research, they publish some papers, and what next? Nothing. And they go to the next stage because they don't get the taste for that first stage what they were doing the research. So that is where that taste is not there. It is not giving them that pleasure. It's a dead matter. Srila Prabhupada writes that the devotional service is like an active, it's like an active seed. When you put an active seed on the ground, it immediately fructifies. But these dead matter, the material things are dead, or without any life. But we out of illusion thinks that there is so much of life in it, so much of energy in it. And we do research, we engage them, we do many things. At the end of the day, we understand that it is just a dead matter. So the devotion, so that is what from the examples of many of the Srila Prabhupada's direct disciples we can see that they were doing some other things on the street, or they were going out somewhere, and immediately when they see devotees, they get immediately attracted towards them, and next day they join the ashram. How it was possible? It was only possible that they get automatically attracted. They were actually pure devotees. They get automatically attracted. There was one devotee whom I remember who was actually selling some samosas on the street in India. You must have seen this kind of people who come in a rickshaw or something like a bicycle, and selling some samosas. And he was selling some samosas somewhere, and that time, so fortunately on that day, it was Lord Jagannath's cart, or the Vrata Yatra was happening. And in the same city where he was selling the samosas, the Ratha Yatra came to the same street where he was selling. And immediately he got attracted. Immediately he thought that I want to join this, I want to become a devotee, I want to go and approach them. And next day he went to the ashram and he spoke to them and he told that I want to join. The initial thought which came to his mind was that they won't allow him because this kind of thing happens in India, that you are coming from a very poor background, or you are not even qualified to join an ashram or something. He thought like that. But this entire house has been prepared or built by Srila Prabhupada so that the entire world comes and lives. There is no restriction for anybody. So what happened is they accepted him, and he is still doing service. And today he is turning millions of devotees into Krishna consciousness. So that is the beauty of this Krishna consciousness, that immediate attraction, immediately they get attracted, that few devotees get attracted to Krishna consciousness. But so that is the great thing, that because we are living in this day and age of Kali Yuga, and we are in Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi Upadrita, that we are actually Manda, that we are very dull, we are not even having the attraction, and every now and then we need to be brought back to the attraction to Krishna consciousness. So this is the thing that every day this new thing happens. See, that's another thing about this material world. This material world, because everything is not it's not giving us some good taste. We are looking out for varieties in life. What they say is variety is the spice of life. So every day, common man needs some variety. Variety in eating, variety in sleeping, variety in, mating. Everything he needs variety. Eating also, one day this shop, another day another street, another shop, one day this item, another day other item. And sleeping also, different pillows, different mats, different, air conditions, whatnot. Everything is being done. And same way, different mating also. He is not satisfied. Every day he needs variety. And I left out defending, because he has to, various ways he has to defend himself to do the other three. Various kinds of obstacles comes, he has to defend, so that the other three could be done in a varieties of ways. So this variety is very much, enchanting him. This material energy is giving him that enchanting nature, that it's giving him varieties. And by constantly yearning to get some varieties, he is forgetting Krishna. Constantly he's look out for variety. Every day, today morning, what variety I can choose, what I can eat, what I can go, where I can sleep, where I can do anything. So tomorrow what I can do, same set of process. And this is exactly what an animal also does. An animal on the street, once it gets up in the morning, first it thinks about eating, Then once the eating is done, it thinks about, mating. Then it thinks about sleeping. There is no difference. So the entire thing, so that's exactly what Srila Prabhupada writes here, that because these kind of varieties and this kind of thing we want, we are actually, the change into different varieties of body, Brahmyam Sarva Bhutani, Yantra Arudani Maradaya. That, these varieties which we want every day, and for each day, which variety which we have, enjoyed, we have to take different bodies, and each lifetime we have to spend. Say, for example, today's variety, you are going to get one lifetime of one body. And tomorrow's variety, another body is awaiting you. And the day after tomorrow's variety, another body is awaiting you. So lifetime after lifetime, we are going to spend only because we want varieties in life. So this is the, and what he says, Prabhupada says also, Ashan Apikleshada. What happens is, even after going through all these tribulations and after this, painful things of doing all this, still he is not able to understand. Still he is not able to understand. That is the, that is why, how we will understand that, these tribulations are coming to me. I have to stop it. Is only by Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, by devotional service. And Prabhupada quotes immediately, Shinvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Hridayantastu Abhadrani. So the Hridayantastu Abhadrani, all the entire heart is filled with impurities. How it will all be removed? Only Shinvata Swakata Krishna. Swakata Krishna, only Krishna Kata. No, nothing else. And that is why this is called, this Srimad Bhagavatam is full of that. Srila Prabhupada writes that Srimad Bhagavatam is the only literature that talks fully about Krishna's pastimes and relationship with devotees. And it's also the only literature that doesn't talk about anything else. It doesn't talk about economic development. It doesn't talk about, moksha. It doesn't talk about, artha, dharma, moksha, or something. It doesn't talk. It talks only about Krishna's pastimes. Only talks about relationship with Krishna and his devotees. And that is why it is called Puranam Amalam Yat Vaishnavanam Priyam. That it is an Amala Puranam. It is, spotless Purana. There is no Amalam. There is nothing inauspicious inside. And that is why Yat Vaishnavanam Priyam. That, that is why Vaishnavas are very much attracted towards Srimad Bhagavatam, attracted towards reading it, very much attracted to understand it. So, what it does, that, this devotional service or this, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, attending the class, and, being a part of the satsang, what it does is that, it revives or it purifies the heart. It has to be purified, the heart has to be purified. Otherwise, there is no way out that, we will be again and again getting attached to these tribulations of material nature. And purification of heart is very important and very important aspect of this devotional service. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a chapter which talks about, devotional service, pure devotional service, change in the heart. There's an entire chapter which talks about this, that, how this devotional service actually engages one in changing the heart. And why this change of heart is very important is also explained there. That, the jnanam yat, see what it actually says, a beautiful verse comes in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the, third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and third chapter. What it says is, jnanam yat a pratinivritta gunomi chakra. Jnanam yat, that, because of that knowledge, which knowledge? The knowledge that the gunormi means that the entire material modes are, are putting us like a chakra, like a whirlpool. Srila Prabhupada, translates it chakram as a whirlpool. See, what is happening towards us is that we are actually getting into a whirlpool of material desires. In the younger age, there was this, this washing machine which used to happen with whirlpool. Famous washing machine used to be there. I don't know whether it is still there. That, the advertisement used to say that, every nook and corner of the cloth is cleansed. Every nook and corner of the cloth is cleansed. Same way, by being in this whirlpool of this, material existence, what we are getting is every nook and corner of our cell, every, consciousness is completely, shattered, and we want to only engage in material things. Every nook and corner is completely pulled us into this material thing. Whirlpool, it always pulls you down. So jnanam yat apratinivrutta gunomi chakram. That this gunomi chakram is very important. And how do we come out of it? Atma prasada yatayatra guneshu asangaha. That because of the prasada, or because of the mercy, that we understand that we have to come out of it. That we have to come out of this sangha. We don't come out of this attachment. And how it is possible? Kaivalya samata patas tuata bhakti yogaha. Kaivalya pata. The transcendental path, the only transcendental path that is available is bhakti yoga. So the bhakti yoga is the only transcendental path that can bring us out of this whirlpool. And if there is any other thing which can bring us out of this whirlpool, is not that any other thing which we can do, dhyana, meditation, yoga, they will not be able to bring us out of this whirlpool. We will get more and more entangled into it. More and more gunarmi chakram. More and more we will be pulled out of it. And that is again, which enables Kaivalya Pantaha. Kaivalya Pantaha means the path or the route by which one can attain the Parama. Srila Jiva Goswami quotes this Vedic text, Vedic quote that Eko Narayana Deva. What is that? How it ends? The Kaivalya Samnitaha. It comes that, I forgot that. Eko Narayana Deva. And what it says is that Eko Narayana is the supreme. And Paramo Varanam. What it says is that he is the Parama. And only we can achieve him only by this, this Kaivalya Samtaha. That only by through this path of devotional service. There is no other way. So, and here in this verse also, a word is added called Tatyeva. See, Tatyeva Haramvada Manyasechat. That, what it says, Bhaktir Harau Tat Purushecha Sakyam Tatyeva. That, the only thing by which, we can come out of this material world is only devotional service. That only. There is nothing else can bring us out of it. So, and here again, Srila Prabhupada quotes in the first line in the purport, that when devotees don't get, or a common man don't get attached to the devotional service, how he is being slapped by Maya every now and then. This is that famous verse, Krishna Bahirmukhe Bhaya Boha Vancha Kare. Nikataste Maya Tara Japati Yatare. That, Maya is always very, very closer to us. Is always with us. Because we choose Maya. Maya is not choosing us. We are choosing it. We want her. We want her to be, overpower us. And, we like that overpowering also. So, we have chosen this. And she is also obliged to. And she is, happy to do that of service also. So, that is the, that is our choice. We have made our choice. Srila Prabhupada writes in that one of the purport that every living being is like a hero. Every living being is like a hero. That, he wants to prove that he is a hero. And, how it is he proves? He proves it that, by engaging in more and more in material things. But he doesn't know that, Maya is nearby and is slapping him every now and then. But he thinks that I am a hero. Hero of what? Hero of anything. Hero of, nation. Hero of a community. Hero of family. Or hero of a group of people. Hero of something. You have to become a hero, no? You have to become a hero of something. If nothing is possible. I have not become a hero of a family, hero of a nation. Then at least, get some dogs, get some sheep, get some goats. Hero of something, I have to overpower them. This is our nature. Now that is why if you see many of the people get dogs in their home, this always astonishes me. Why do this, these rich people have dogs at home? Why do they have dogs at home? This is the strange thing. There are two things here actually. One is these rich people actually they spend so much of money for these dogs. I always amazed that so much of money they are wasting on this keeping dogs at home. So I wondered, rich people are very, very calculated. If you go and speak to them, they are very calculated. Even a small thing, even a small dime, they won't leave it like that. So I used to wonder that why these fellows are spending so much of money for these dogs. There was one fellow who had 2 dogs at home. Of course, all these dogs are, imported dogs. Imported dogs means, they are not used to this kind of local dogs. They are all imported from foreign countries. So, huge amount of money for even for their food. Normal food they don't take. You have to go and buy those pedigree and other stuff. So they buy those huge, expensive foods for them. And, there is separate bed for it. And, every 15 days, the dogs have to be taken for manicure, pedicure and other things, all those things, And very many insurance for the dogs. The dog should not die. Or even if the dog dies, what is the big deal? Anyway, insurance for the dogs. Worst and the more and above is there two people are engaged for taking care of those two dogs and in shift basis. So 8-hour shift, 12-hour shift, that two of them come and take care of the dog throughout 24 hours a day. And salary for these people, gratuity for these people, insurance for them, and what more? And some vaccinations for those person that the dog even bites, that there's not something happen to them. Actually, I was thinking the other day, if they calculate the entire expense, what they have done, it would be more than what we spend for 60 brahmacharis inside the ashram for a month. That is the kind of expense these people actually spend. So much of money they spend. And what do they get out of it? So then I later realized that what is happening is, if you go to a rich man's house, you will see the entire thing is that he has to lord over something. See, he has to lord it over something. Ishvaroham aham bhogi. That, his children are not, hearing what they are saying. Children have already, recently we had an example when we went to a very rich man's house. Super rich, I should say. That man built a house which the cost would have been almost similar to the entire expense what we are incurring for building this huge temple. All the Italian marbles, whatnot, everything. The man is, doing a very big, he's an industrialist, very big businessman. Hardly he is at home. He is always at office. And if you go to the house, which is like a palace, the wife is alone. So we asked her, where is your children? Where are your children? Your son or daughters? Son and daughters are already abroad studying. And the next statement comes out that they are not interested coming back here. They want to settle there. So the wife is living alone in that huge house, and all the servants are there, and the servants are there just to take her orders. And what kind of orders come? See that plant which is inside the hall, it has grown 1 centimeter more. Can you go and cut it? Because there is nothing else to do. There's something has to be told to the servants, so servants are told, okay, go and cut it. And the entire lady is just sitting in that house and doesn't know what to do, anything. I mean, just and the poor man is actually struggling. Poor means rich man. He's struggling at his office and to build this beautiful house. So the understanding is that they need somebody to order. They need somebody to be open. They need to be show that they are Ishvaro Mahambhu. So the lady is showing it in the house. The man is showing it in the office. And when they both come home, they want to show it to something. So they have some dogs at home. So because dogs only, whatever you say, they complete, wake the tile and come and stand before you. All those things they do. So the understanding is that the entire purpose of, it is not like cock and bull story I'm telling. It's a true fact. If you go and see some of these rich people, they do the same thing. Why do they have these kind of, dogs at home? It's only because of the reason that, they want something to overpower. They want to lord it over somebody. And dogs are their best pets. Anyway. And what they get out of it? Nothing. They don't understand that Bhogavancha kare nikatastei maya dare chapati yatare. Here Prabhupada writes the same thing. Srila Prabhupada actually wrote this beautiful Bengali poems for Bhagavad Gita as it is. That book is called Gita Argan. He wrote this beautiful poems for the entire, summarizing the Bhagavad Gita as it is. He wrote some Bengali poems. In that also, there is a beautiful verse he writes that Ishvare tare nahe sei papa punya. That be not that your papa and punya are given by Ishvara. He is not coming and deciding, or he is adjudicating on your papa and punya. Papa punya yahe kicho nija icha jane. That our nija icha, our icha is because of which we get papa and punya. We have some desires, so we engage in some activity, and that activity is actually, a reason for our papa and punya. Ajnana janite, that because of ajnana janite, say boga ichcha kare. That, only because of foolishness, because of you are unintelligent, you don't know what to do, what is the correct way to live life, we are only engaging in boga ichcha. And the same fourth line, pashe take maye tare japati tare. So Maya is always near you, and she is just waiting for you to, to have a little bit of momentary fall down. She immediately takes over you. So the best attempt is that we have to be safeguard ourselves. How do we safeguard ourselves? We can safeguard ourselves is only by hearing Krishna Katha. And here again, Srila Prabhupada writes in this purport that, we have been very, very fortunate that some of these devotees came and helped us in bringing us to Krishna consciousness. Obviously, every one of us here would, vouch for it. That, we all came to Krishna consciousness because some devotees took some effort. They came and met us. They came and gave the book. They came and explained to us. And so we are all today fortunate that we are sitting here. We are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. We are, able to come in the early morning, dance in front of the Lord, always engage in devotional service. So this fortunate thing, what we have, got, what we have actually received, should not be taken very lightly. That, okay, this is another thing in life. No, it's not like that. It's the most fortunate thing that we have received in our life. Treasure we have received in our life. So we have to make use of the full, what Prabhupada used to write, that, make the best use of the bad bargain. That, we have got this, we have to use it. So make use of it. The Srila Prabhupada has given us the wonderful schedule, build this entire movement here. So our best thing is to do is to take use of this wonderful opportunity and achieve the goal of life. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, any other points you want to add or something? Oh, question? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, actually, what I meant, actually, maybe I should have put it differently. The point is that we cannot, sorry, question. The question is, one of the points that was spoken during the lecture was that you cannot engage your mind. You have to engage your mind either in Krishna's service or, you can engage your mind in, material things. You cannot do it both. How do you reconcile this? So, that's the question. How do you reconcile this? Actually, what was the point is that many times what we see is that the activities what we are engaging, we are not able to, the material things, our mind is engaged in many, many material things. And when we are attached to material things, our attachment to Krishna is, not there. Our attachment to Krishna is not there. So we are not able to engage our mind in Krishna's service. And if we actually, dovetail, as Prabhupada used to say, dovetail our activities or our consciousness towards serving Krishna, then our mind becomes automatically, controlled from engaging in these kind of material things. Is what I meant. Little clarification. Any other questions? Any other comments? Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.